Hello and welcome to all of our participants. Thank you very much for being with us. And today we're going to talk about what makes sense in our life. We're going to talk about the main treasure that every community has in Ukraine. We're going to talk about what we should preserve and recover and rebuild. We're going to talk about our people, our Ukrainians. Each project that we're going to see today has some sense of life behind it. There is a sense of recovery for our country, Ukraine. And the main thing is the sense that our country needs today, which is the return of our citizens, of our residents. They should return from abroad to our country. This is a huge challenge, and that is why I'd like to invite you to look at these projects as an opportunity for our joint growth of our country, growth for our economy, our mission, our country. The only challenge that our president has said faces us is to attract 4 million of Ukrainians back to the country. This is the only thing that will enable us to stand firmly on our feet on our way to victory. Thank you very much to everyone who is doing everything to strengthen our municipalities and reinforce our invincibility. Today we have a panel of discussion for the Marathon of Communities, and we are going to see projects and we are going to see what KHARKIV, CHERNIHIV, SUMY, APOSTOLOVE, KRYVYI, BAKHMUT, and MARIUPOL are doing to return back to the previous situation. We will start with Kharkiv, the city of heroes, the hero city, which shows what it means to be an invincible city, what it means to show the sustainability of the community. I invite Tatiana Sklarenka, who is the council of the city council, and before she joins us, we're going to see a video.
В такому становищі, в якому зараз перебуває Харків, не має бути жодне місто України. У Харкова нема власної генерації електроенергії. У Харкові зруйнована та пошкоджена чи не половина житлового фонду. Тому головна наша задача – оперативне відновлення та модернізація міста. Доказом, що нам це вдається, є те, що бізнес працює, а люди повертаються. Бо лише в Харкові вони відчувають надійне плече свого міста. А тому можуть бути щасливими, сильними і гордими українцями. І я впевнений, так буде і в майбутньому.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand up. It's the national anthem of Ukraine.
Ще не вмерла України ні слава, ні воля. Ще нам, браття українці, усміхнеться доля. Згинуть наші вороженьки, як роса на сонці, запануємо ми, браття життя у своїй сторонці. Душу й тіла ми положим за нашу свободу і покажем, що ми браття козацького роду.
Слава Україні!
Slava Ukraini. Yes, Ms. Tatiana Stolenko, the floor is yours. Welcome everyone who has come to this room, and let me thank the organizers for making this platform a platform for assistance to our municipalities and communities. What we're going to see is a result of our joint work, because 1 year ago, when we were presenting our communities and our projects, international partners approached us, and today we're working on the project that I'm going to present together today. So a big thank you to the organizers, and I do hope that ever more communities are going to find partners and assistance on this very platform. Thank you. And today's project is a challenge of today. And if we had had this project earlier, then we probably wouldn't have saved more human capital, and then more entrepreneurs would have had to relocate their business, as well as educational establishment and so on. So this is really a challenge of the present day and a challenge of the future. We should really lay the foundation today and look at the 10 years ahead. Our project is called Jefter Park. This is our joint project in Kharkiv with the German Architectural Bureau. This project involves a planning something in the very center of our city. This is a very well-known square. If you have ever been to Kharkiv, you know the Naukova underground station, and you know that there are many universities and businesses and office centers located there. This is close to the Independence Square, one of the greatest squares in Europe. And today, this platform could become a safe island for our everyday life and for the future. Well, this is how we plan a project to look like. And this is a very interesting solution. When from the Naukova underground station, we're going to have a safe transfer directly into that building. And with this project, we would like to solve the question of our city greenery and safety, support for business, support for social projects, because this building is going to connect the Klitschkivska Street with the Prospect Nauki Street. And this will be possible to build because the transfer is 23 meters wide, and we can build a safe environment there. As you will see, we will have commercial parts and big hypermarkets, and also premises for cultural events, some warehousing space, also manufacturing space. So this project is scheduled for 3 stages because this is a large-scale project. And in order for the project to be maximally safe, we're going to build it in the following way. So during peacetime, the protective partitions that are going to be part of the project could be taken away, and the underground premises could get lights directly. You can see that these are the underground elements of the project, and they will be masked with apertures. And in peacetime, they will be decorated. There will be some small benches and so on. And this will ensure safety. And the plants that we want to plant there will be part of a park. There will be new plants. And we are now trying to calculate the burden for the project. They will be planted in the ground and covered with earth. And those apertures that are there for security will be actually uncovered, and the light would fall inside. Well, at the moment, this might look quite futuristic, but we have done very solid work with our international partners. And what we want to do is to make sure that this project is as autonomous as possible. And the total area of this project will amount to 20,000 square meters, and 36 square meters, 1,000 meters will be allocated to the park. So we will unite environmental elements and autonomy and independence. All of these elements will be part of the project. And moreover, when we were starting the project, we didn't have an idea that emerged later on in the process, namely creating an international bus station. This is really a priority for us today. And the transport that we get from our partners, because you know that many parts of Kharkiv were actually demolished, and we want to really save the transport, means of transport that we're going to buy. And we want to create the safest conditions for everyone who is going to visit our city. And the first stage will be the underground space with the international underground bus station and hospitals and schools and commercial buildings.
I hope that soon, in the territory of this institution, we will find partners who would like to be the first ones, just like it was last year, when we met our partners with whom we constructed the first underground school in Kharkiv. And first I presented it as the first successful case. So I hope we will be able to find partners here who would be eager to develop the project, the first project in Ukraine, but also the first project, I guess, in Europe. It would be like a safe island of underground city. Thank you for your attention. Thank you, Tetiano, for your very nice presentation. Kharkiv has always been a very industrial center, and new industrial parks will be open not only in Kharkiv but in every city of Ukraine. Now we continue our marathon, and another unbroken city, unbroken community, which every day keeps our borders despite very complicated situation, and it is on the track of its development. For every family, for every house, this building is a mode, an example to follow. So I would like to invite to this scene our colleagues, Alexander Lomaka, the acting mayor of Chernihiv City Council, who will also present a very well-prepared project. Now let's watch a short video first. Please, you're welcome. Hello, dear friends, all those present here. Thank you for support of our city. I came from Chernihiv. Chernihiv is like a northern forepost of Ukraine, and as you could see from this short video, before February 2022, even 7 years before that date, we had presented the best results of prosperity and development among cities of Ukraine, and it was according to the perception of people and according to international assessments. Now we can only remember, or could be now, and our first goal is survival and bringing our people back. But Chernihiv is a very strong city, resilient city. It was one of the first who was attacked among the first cities of Ukraine. And for the first 40 days of the full-scale war, it was under constant shelling from all sorts of arms, from tanks, from the air. But due to the strength of citizens and armed forces of Ukraine, our city was not occupied, and the Ukrainian flag was above the city. Unfortunately, it cost us lots of ruining, and before the war, we had more than 100,000 people. Now only 70,000 citizens were left in Chernihiv city. Others had to leave the city. Now, fortunately, many people have returned, and today we have about 260,000 people in the city, including IDPs. Mostly these are people from neighboring cities, neighboring towns, from Chernihiv Oblast. And we did all our best to bring our people back. First of all, due to education. About 60–70% of educational institutions were ruined or damaged heavily. On the 1st of September 2022, all children studied online. Now, we have about 75–80% of children who go to school offline, and we achieved this due to our collaboration with our international partners. And now, school after school, kindergarten by kindergarten, they are reconstructed. About 14,000 apartments were also damaged or ruined. Now we have reconstructed those buildings, and we supply water and heat to those buildings, but 6 buildings should be demolished, unfortunately. Also, due to the efforts of our technicians, we provide heat to those buildings. Since summer 2023, they have recovered water supply because the majority of water supply capacity was ruined. So today our city is a kind of a model of reconstruction and resilience. And now I would like to present 2 very specific projects which are essential for our community for continuing provision of water supply and heat supply to the facilities. Because these facilities were damaged heavily, and now they need reconstruction. The first is the reconstruction of water pump station Potusivka of our water supply system. In a short note, before the war, about 100,000 people were supplied with water. And we don't take water from the river, we take it from underground, so it's quite pure. But nevertheless, the content of iron is a bit higher than it should be, according to the norms. This water pump station was ruined at the beginning of the war. It was airstrike at the beginning, and you can see the ruins of the station. Unfortunately, 5 people died during that shelling. Today, there are 5 pump stations. 3 of them were damaged. Now, the station number 2, which we are talking about now, its productivity was about 130,000 cubic meters of water per day. Unfortunately, due to war, this station was damaged heavily. Right now, we are trying to reconstruct this station, and we have a prepared project. The cost is 32.4 million euros, and it will be implemented in two stages. The first stage is to renovate its operation, and the second is nitrogen and to reduce the components of iron in water. So we have already started implementing this project. It's about 22.5 million euros. The second project is aimed at the reconstruction of machinery. We constructed new water reservoirs and new network pipelines, sewing pipelines and water pipelines and cables. 12 chambers and wells were constructed for different systems, sewage and water supply. And also we use UV for purifying water. This is what has been done already. The second stage will be to construct a multi-story building where the main technological equipment will be located for this station. And as you can see, we will reduce the contents of manganese and iron from the water. We are going to use energy-efficient technology. I have showed the main parameters. The second project I would like to mention is Chernihiv heating plant, and they supply about 50% of residential buildings with heat and generate electric energy. Then this electric energy is included into the general national grid. It was also damaged in spring 2022, so it's quite clear, but now it is renovated and in operation. Those two projects which I am presenting now, they correlate to the strategy announced by the president. It's about providing heating supply and electric energy. It will also cover the peak supply, the peak consumption of energy in the morning and in the evening, and we will be able to quickly change the capacity. In the next slides, you will see technical description of a new heat supply power station. Here you can see the plan, which includes automated supply, different modes of operation, functions of managing the plant. Also, you can see the advantages, which are very easy to use and which are very good for being used in a city. So, speaking about the business plan, business model, it's quite effective. It is about 15 million euros, but the annual income will be about 10 million euros, as you can see on the screen.
That's why we invite you to collaborate with us, and you can see other of our projects on the Green platform. Sorry to have held you up. Thank you very much, dear Mayor, and thank you for for being an example of sustainability, of invincibility, and we were glad to see your projects. Next community, the city of SUMY. It has been providing effective fight with our enemies, and in order for this city to have a bit of a relief, our militaries have created a special zone. So SUMY has become the back of the front, back support for the army. So please share your impressions as to how this city is living as part of the background operation. We're going to talk about the SUMY with Mr. Anatoly Sagach, the director of Minsk Vodokanal of the SUMY Community Council. And please watch the video with us.
Анатолію, запрошую.
Anatoly, the floor is yours. Hello and a very good day, a good morning to all participants. On behalf of the city territorial community of SUMY, I welcome you. I'm very happy to be here. I'm happy to speak together with representatives of our neighbors of Kharkiv and Chernihiv. We are the forepost of Ukraine, and Kharkiv, Chernihiv, and SUMY were the cities which, on the 24th of February 2022, suffered from the Russian avalanche from the very morning. At 6 a.m., the Russian occupying forces were already there, and people were going to work in the morning without understanding what was going on. They were just going to work. They wanted to work for our community, and the front was already there. Now it's been almost 3 years of full-scale invasion, and then when we think back to the past, the situation was very hard. And thanks to our residents, to men and women and children of SUMY, who just united together, and they were making Molotov cocktails during the first days, and during the first weeks, they were grabbing weapons into their hands to defend their city, and we fought the city back from the occupying forces very soon, but we had to be besieged. We were besieged for 40 days, and the biggest problem was with food products and medicines, because on the 5th day, the grocery stores were empty and there were no supplies. The medicines were still in pharmacies, and the owners were no longer selling them. They were just handing them out without any money to save people's lives. People who were working at hospitals were doing their utmost to save people's lives. However, I can say that thanks to the residents of SUMY, thanks to the military forces of Ukraine, we fought the city back, and we had the first green corridors thanks to the International Red Cross, and we had 3,000 of foreign students, and those students were transported after the city, and nearly 50% of our population left the city. These were elderly citizens, women, children, and others. We know that this was a very difficult situation. All of the utility companies were still working, and the city offered all of the services: water, heating, electricity, gas supply, and sewage services as well. And life is going on, and indeed, at the start of the first full scale of invasion, we had 256,000, and now we're going half of the population left, and we now have around 120,000 population. The city has now been freed. The city is alive. It's working and functioning. Thanks to international donors and businesses and all of our colleagues who have decided to help the city, we are living. And today we are going to present a project that would be related to the reconstruction of city infrastructure. First, we couldn't reconstruct it because of COVID and then because of the war. But we are not standing still. We're moving forward. And with the support of donors, international donors, we hope that in the coming future, the war in our country will come to an end with our victory, and we will not only reconstruct the country, but we will further develop and expand it. So I would like to just show a short presentation about the reconstruction of private buildings in countries. So I just said that we have the water supply and the sewage treatment in our city, and 28,000 of our population are IDPs from other cities, towns, and villages which are now facing the military hostilities. We have reconstructed this in two steps. This plant was actually developed in 2020 together with NEFCO, an international organization, and we actually ran the tenders, and we already selected a contractor that was supposed to start work in 2022, but this didn't happen because of the war. And then all of the private buildings, the wastewater treatment plants were constructed in 1968, and then 75, then 96, and 91. So these wastewater treatment plants are not compliant with the current norms in Ukraine and Europe. So we need to be going on our way to the European Union towards modernization. So all of our wastewater treatment plants are going to comply with the EU norms. This idea came about because these plants are older, well, they're working and they are fully functional, but of course we need to reconstruct or renew about 70% of the infrastructure. That's why we decided that we need to reconstruct the full water treatment infrastructure of the city. We have calculated the cost of the project as 35.4 million euro. We do understand this is a lot of money, and we understand that once we have found a contractor and we will be running the tenders, then hopefully this sum will be shortened, will be reduced, and nevertheless will ensure quality infrastructure for our city. For the time being, we do not have any alternative water treatment plants, so we're looking for different options to find more funding to reconstruct the infrastructure. The next slide shows financing models. We have two options here. We, of course, are going to accept various variants. The first model is the 45% of a loan, and the rest would be the city budget, and 50% of a grant. And then model number two, 70% loan and 30% of grant money. Why do we not want to rely on loan only? It's just because our population is not very rich, and we also see the situation in various business sectors. The salaries and wages are not very high. The businesses are recovering, and we do hope that the living standard will be increased to the level of Estonia, for instance, and we will be able to pay for all the services. But for the time being, we do hope that some kind of grant money will help us to perform the work on time and repay the loan. It could be the World Bank loan, or it could be some development bank loan, or some other institution, whatever institution wants to work with us. And the expected environmental results, that will be the improved quality of wastewater treatment, reduction of CO2 emissions, and also the renovation of the Psel River system to make sure that our residents can actually bathe in that river. As regards the economic and social results, then we do hope that all of the residents want to live in a city where everything is functioning well, and we have a great desire to actually share our water treatment plants with local communities, and we have many ditches, and everybody wants to have a central heating system and central water treatment plant. So we just want to carry out the project and share the possibilities also with our neighbors. These are the details of the project. This is quite clear. I will not dwell on that. And yes, these are the international organizations that are collaborating with our municipality, with our community. And after yesterday, I think this is going to expand, and we're going to get more partners. This is a list of objects that we are now presenting on our stand during this exhibition. If you're interested, we invite you to come over and take a look, and we hope to be able to implement these projects in the near future. And these are the contact details. So if you're interested, please come and join us at our stand. Thank you very much for your attention. Slava Ukraini. Glory to its heroes. Thank you very much. And thank you for your sustainability and for a quick recovery. We carry out our marathon. Let's clap our hands to everyone who's listening to our communities and who is contributing to the recovery of Ukraine. We continue our marathon, a small but very, very powerful community, Apostolskie community that is on the borderline between the Kherson and Zaporizhia regions. And because of the tragedy of the collapse of the water power station, the city was without water for almost 1 year, and they were making sure that all Ukrainians have water supply.
Now I would like to invite Lesia Mikhno, the Secretary of Apostolove City Council, who will present the priority project of their community. Please pay your attention to the screen now and let's watch the video. Please, the floor is yours, Lesia. I'm very glad to take part in this event, which is dedicated to the reconstruction of Ukraine. It's my honor to present our community. The community is at the border of Dnipropetrovsk Oblast and Kherson Oblast. We had more than 200,000 residents, but about 20% of our residents have left the community. Right now, we have hosted more than 2,000 IDPs. And at the beginning of the war, 3 schools were ruined. The schools where more than 2,000 pupils studied. The next tragedy was when the Kakhovka hydroelectric power plant dam was blown up. Now I would like to present the priority project. It's the modernization of water supply network. Water supply includes the pipeline, about 200 kilometers, and water treatment plants. The main problems are out-of-date technology and equipment, losses of water, and great consumption of energy. After the Kakhovka hydroelectric power plant dam was blown up, water, the level of water reduced, and our villages didn't have access to drinkable water. The main goal of the project is to provide the city with clean water through the water supply system, modern water treatment system, and introduction of energy efficiency. Reconstruction of facilities, water treatment, filtration, pipelines, and expected results are the increased quality of drinking water, the saving of energy resources, and as a result, more than 15,000 people will receive high-quality drinking water, including refugees and IDPs. The main goal of our authorities is to keep the people so that those people stay in the community, and our residents who have left, to bring them back. And we would like these people to find their new home, the second home in our community. The estimate cost is about $33 million. Speaking about international cooperation within this project, it's UNICEF, Swiss Confederation, UNICEF, Water Mission. We are very thankful to all our partners. Our community would also like to present a number of other projects, so please come to our stand and we will share all the information with you. Thank you for your attention. You can see all contact information and contacts of our community on this QR code. Glory to Ukraine. Thank you, Lesa, for taking care of our citizens and for your willingness to recover as quickly as possible. And now we will continue the network of unbroken communities. So the next community, which is a model of struggle for our economy and supporting our armed forces. It's an industrial city, which in these challenging times, it's on the front pages. Unfortunately, this community is under constant strikes, enemy strikes. Now I would like to invite Yevhen Udot, the first deputy of Mayor KRYVYI Rih. Please, let's watch the video first. Please, Yevhen, dear colleagues, every day we face new challenges, and enemies trying to ruin our city with rockets, by blowing up the dams around the city, trying to blow up And now the enemy tries to do it using low temperatures and darkness. Now I would like to present the top priority project aimed at providing quality heat supply to our citizens and residents. It's the creation of an adaptive heat supply system to residents, which is adaptable to blackouts and strikes, using the technology of digital twins. Thank you. I would like to say thank you to Deloitte and Amazon, who provided us with an idea to create such a project. And I would like to thank Ministry of Economy, who support us in our work, and also colleagues from Dream Platform for Collaboration, and our military administration in Dnipropetrovsk region. All those people in my team who were developing this project. The enemy tried 8 times to blow up the dam using Kinjal rockets, but they failed to do it due to our armed forces, our soldiers. But after destruction of Kakhovka water dam, our heat network was without water, and we had the problem of corrosion. Then the second wave of corrosion happened, and then we had a number of blackouts and airstrikes. So now we need the system which would be resilient to such situations and would be adaptable to such threats. It would enable us to save resources and would make it possible to provide services to the residents on a constant basis. In KRYVYI, our communal utility is about 2,000 kilometers of heat networks. Using geolocation system of the city, we found several very painful spots, and we would focus our attention on these places, these locations. Actually, this system allows us to see problems in real time and to direct resources to the most painful, challenging areas. We are going to connect digital technologies, geolocation system, energy monitoring system, which are already functioning, and the network of detectors which control the state of equipment, which we are going to make due to this project. And by connecting all 3 systems, we will be able to create a common smart network to manage all utilities around the city. This smart technology, digital twins, it allows us to make decisions in situations in real time, in some dangerous situations, so that the city is a step ahead of all possible problems. Then the system not only reacts to blackouts, hydro strikes, it can also prevent such situations and prevent hazardous situations. The goal is to create a constant heat supply system and create conditions when residents feel safe. So the whole operation system is quite simple. It is directed to the constant operation of utilities and includes about 100 kilometers of networks included in the system. then it reduces losses, and the breakdown point comes quite soon. It's rational use of resources, increased heat supply to the residents, and reduction of CO2 emission. We have made several steps to increase the water supply quality. So you can see the green projects which have been implemented already. Yellow color, this marks projects which are being implemented right now, and red, which require our attention in future. They are focused on increasing energy efficiency of our facilities, including kindergarten, schools, etc. Then the development of small and medium enterprises. These are projects related to the creation of circular economy system, and a very important project aimed at the creation of a fund of social housing in the city. Thank you. Dear colleagues, it's a great honor for me to be present here with you. I would like to thank our organizers, honored moderator. Thank you, colleagues, and see you. Thank you, Yevhen.
We have seen the smart approach, the systemic approach. Thank you very much for the recovery of a really big city of KRYVYI. Let us continue the marathon. And now we're going to invite a really powerful city that became a fortress. And if you say fortress, then you will understand that we're talking about Bakhmut. It is a city of sustainability, invincibility, and secure victory. This is a city that is an example for us. This community is temporarily, and I underline temporarily, in evacuation, but it is building its secure future. So let me invite Alexander Marchenko, the deputy of the head of Bakhmut city administration, our military administration of the city. Please watch the video reel now.
Будівлі моєї нема, яка була там, ну, як кажуть, а залишились тільки ключі від неї. Як маємо, то й маємо. Другого в нашому житті вже таке не може бути.
І разом з втратою рідного дому ми якби втратили частинку себе.
І зараз у нас немає іншої мрії, ніж знову мати місце, яке ми можемо назвати своїм.
Мама говорить, якщо дуже захотіти, то це обов'язково здійсниться. У мене найбільша мрія – мати власну кімнату, свій стіл, де я можу покласти книжки, іграшки, які привезла з рідного Бахмуту.
Пане Олександре, вам слово. Дякую.
The videos, and they have subtitles in English, so there is no need to interpret that. Feel free to read that under the subtitles. Now, we are welcoming Bakhmut. Before the war, Bakhmut was one of the brightest and most beautiful corners of Donetsk region. It was inspiring. It was developing. It was a city of a crazy energy. And it was also a home to many. We had around around 80,000 residents. Now it's a city of memories and recollections. The Russian army ruined everything, destroyed all the streets that we walked along, the schools, preschools for children, parks and squares where we liked to relax. This was the critical infrastructure that was destroyed, educational centers and also medical facilities. 99% of the infrastructure was destroyed. We started evacuation and people were forced to leave the city. Within 1 year, there was nobody left in the city. The people who left, they went to safe corners of our country or to other countries. Russia destroyed everything. There was no concrete left. There was no iron left, but we were left. We survived. The residents of Bakhmut, we were not broken. We still have hope. We still have belief and faith in peaceful living. This is why, understanding this, we started looking for partners and friends to put this dream into reality and to start living even today. We're very grateful for any support that we received, for our voice was heard, and we are very thankful for all the concepts of reconstruction. We had a concept of reconstruction of a district for 18,000 people. And we took this concept and we started visiting different cities where our people are living now. We presented the concept. We held online meetings and face-to-face meetings. We wanted to hear the voices of people. And we wanted to know if we should go ahead with this or not. And then we saw the hopeful eyes, the dreamy eyes. We understood that really we need to move forward. And then losing a building, losing a home, we are losing part of ourselves. There is no day that we, Bakhmut residents, cannot think about their home city when they're living in different communities which gave us shelter. We are still looking for corners of the world that would really revive the memories that we still have. And even if we're living here, we would look at the tree and we will think of the lovely Bakhmut. We will think about the trees that were growing along our schools or other city infrastructure. We wanted to revive a copy of Bakhmut, and then we found a community in Rivne Oblast, and I'm very thankful for them for their support in this important moment. And we also turned to our friends, designers, and we came up with this idea to reconstruct a mini copy of Bakhmut within the territory of a different country, to transfer those districts, the streets, those highlights and particular spots, to transfer the atmosphere of Bakhmut, to make sure that our residents feel at home in a new place. This was a concept, and this concept includes the construction of a district on the surface. This would be buildings with 2 to 4 stories, environmentally friendly and comfortable spaces for our residents. This would be the development. And the project also includes the construction of a school, a preschool facility, outpatient clinic, greenery, and also the Troyanka Elia, which was famous with its flowers. And this will be also transferred to this new residential district. The object and the goal is to unite our residents and to return the atmosphere, return and restore the community of residents. And they should feel almost at home in the territory of a different community. This is the first project in Ukraine which combines reconstruction and the social factor. We want to give them sense of security and calmness and warmth. This project cost $111 million and it spans across 3 years. And I guess that we still have many challenges, but we have done a lot. We signed a memorandum. We allocated a land plot. We drew the funds from the local budget for the design works. So I would like to ask you, on behalf of all the Bakhmut residents, to support us. We have the slogan, Bakhmut is where the Bakhmut people are. Please join us within this project. Help us carry it out. You can join it. And then please read the QR code. We also have a special dedicated stand in a pavilion, and we are also present in this pavilion, in this hall. I invite you to collaborate with us, and I do hope that our collaboration will be fruitful. Thank you very much. Glory to Ukraine. Glory to Bakhmut. Glory to the heroes. Thank you very much for taking care of the residents. A big thank you to you, Alexander, and we will carry on. We will talk about the invincible communities, invincible cities and towns, which regretfully the enemy has destroyed. And I need the clicker, please. Oh, yes, thank you. And everybody knows about this very famous proverb, the city of Maria, city of Mary. This was almost erased from the face of the earth. A city which gave the town to all of our country, thanks to our brave soldiers that defended our country, our land for 86 days. And they were doing everything for our invincibility, independence, and our freedom. Many boys and girls are still as POWs, and they did their job, and we should remember that all our boys and girls are supposed to be back at home, alive and unhurt. When we talk about the hero cities, then we need to understand why those cities became heroes. They were heroes of Ukraine. Glory to the defenders of Mariupol, glory to Ukraine. And now I'd like to begin a very important discussion about our heroic city, about the priorities that we have discussed all the time. I am limited of time, but I would like to share the main thought with my presentation that is going to be presented on the screen. How are we supposed to rescue and save the treasure that we have, the people? How are we supposed to take care of our people? What should we do to respond to the task that was given by our president? We understand that the economy of our country has been ruined, but we should do everything possible to bring people back to Ukraine. This is a really, really important challenge, and we also understand that today we have internally displaced persons, and those people are also a challenge. We need to think about them. We need to take care of them. These are the challenges. These are the losses. We have lost not just the infrastructure, we have lost our citizens. They have left abroad. And when we think about 6.7 million of people, we need to understand who those people are. 90% of people are young people who are economically active. They are now supporting the economies of other countries, but not Ukraine. Regretfully, this is influencing today's economic losses in our country, that we have minus 12 billion per year. When we think about the IDPs in Ukraine, there's 4.6 million people. And a big thank you to all of the heads and mayors of territorial communities, mayors of cities, who have accepted them. But when the war ends, will these people get back? Well, 50% of those people say they're going to leave Ukraine. And the question is, why? What should we do to save those people, to keep them? The question is answered on this slide. We can see the economic impact of our families, including the impact of Poland, where we are now. These figures are hard to compare. When we think about the average salary level in Poland and Ukraine, we also understand what ruins our families who are escaping to other countries. So people who have emigrated, they're still there, and then they have a status of a refugee, or they will be able to return and have residence to be able to afford it. When we think about Zaporizhia, where my community is living, then it could be 46%. When we move further to Dnipro, then it would be 50% of the savings that our Ukrainians are earning. And if we move further, then there would be even higher savings, and then they will move on beyond Lviv. But this is ruining our economy.
People, those 500,000 who are still ready to come back to Ukraine, the main question is, what should be done? What should we do to make them come back? There is the answer. We see that this answer is in Europe. We see how they got ready, not for this situation, but to take care of people who create their economy. The example of the Netherlands, 30% of all housing is social housing. Housing stock. In Germany, in Austria, 25%. 7% in Poland. It looks like it's a small amount, but they hosted our Ukrainians. They provided them with adequate conditions. And less than 1% of social housing in Ukraine, it's too little. If we want to keep those people who are IDPs within Ukraine and to bring people from abroad, we need to prepare the conditions. Social housing is the respect to people who suffered, like in Mariupol, in Kherson and other cities. People who lose their houses, their apartments, they want the country to take care of them. It's about attention and respect and dignity. Social housing is created and jobs are provided to those people. So those cities who should create social housing, they should also take care of jobs. And we speak about education, medicine, other areas which suffered a lot. Then, if we have a look at how our colleagues were preparing to this situation, we see 3 steps: revitalization, creation of new things, and what is constructed is partially transferred to this social part of housing. But we have to see how the role of state in this direction should be strong and focused. It means that we see the European experience today. What can we offer in terms of quick and strategic actions? Quick actions. Let's have a look at the experience of Poland. Those steps of revitalization, there are many facilities, many objects, and we are able to create them as a possibility in terms of social housing. We have such example in Mariupol. Like in Dnipro, we have provided the social housing to residents from Mariupol. It means there are not enough facilities which can be revitalized, but we have legislation according to which we can do such steps. And the war, which actually started more than 10 years ago, we had the opportunity to do this, and the real estate market should also be used within this legislation, but it doesn't give the answer 100% to this challenge. And Mr. Sukhomlin also emphasized this issue that we must construct social housing in Ukraine. And another example I would like to present you. There is a person in the center, in the focus, and then we create infrastructure around a person, like it was done in Mariupol. And it is also important for international partners for whom social housing is constructed. The transparency is the key principle which should be used as the basis for this activity. Transparency in our cooperation with our partners. We are not asking for money, we are asking for possibility to create social housing to our residents. Everything is on paper, but it should be implemented in reality if we want to keep our communities. And also the very project of construction of social construction, it's not a social project, it's an investment project, and it's a chance for construction companies. It is about 100,000 apartments per year. It's huge money. Several billions of investments within several years into Ukraine. But the question is, what's the breakdown point? And it is only in 5 years. You have heard that this can stabilize our economy. It's not only, well, we think about these people as socially vulnerable, but mainly we speak about economically active people who have low salary and who would like their state to take care of them. In such a way, we can revive the economy. It's the investment in the potential of Ukraine. It's about keeping our communities alive. But this is also about challenges we have to face and to deal with. So if we speak about the Decree 6.9, if we speak about reconstruction and creation of the market of social housing, we also mean that we have to adopt a number of decrees, laws, but it has started already. And yesterday we heard that our state has made it a top priority task for us. So we have to understand that for every community present here, this should be our priority to preserve our economy and our potential. Thank you for your attention. So let's invest into Ukraine. Glory to Ukraine. Thank you for your attention, dear colleagues. We are almost on time. Please, let's applause to ourselves. We have worked for almost an hour and a half, and glory to Ukraine once again.